Here we are. It's been a while since I've had a bearded babble, but we're back with one. And today I have a very special bearded babble. We're going to get into that one in a second. We're going to talk about parenting. Parenting is a journey. It's different for every parent. Every parent's journey is different. That's just the way that goes. My audience knows my parenting with my daughter Dakota, who's 19 now. She is creating a video game, and not only is she creating a video game, she's doing every aspect of it. She's
Oh,
writing it, she's doing the character design, she's
amazing.
doing all the coding herself, which is a whole other language.
Awesome.
Um, just everything about it. We have meetings every Tuesday night, and I'm always absolutely amazed at what she's doing and where she's going.
That's
That's my 19-year-old daughter Dakota,
that.
and then we have my 25-year-old special needs son.
Mm.
It's a whole again, it's a whole different level. He's been sick for the past month. If you've been following along, you kind of know. Just getting back on track these past couple of days. So with him, now that he's being able to color within the lines again, that's a proud moment. So again, it's two different kids, two different outlooks, two different days, two different everything.
Yeah.
But that's what parenting is, and no two parents do it the same. No matter what your kid is doing, everybody has their own way of doing it. If before you had kids, you were told that you had to get that book, What to Expect When Expecting, I think that book is false, and it's a lie, because nothing that you go through in life actually gets you prepared for what to expect while expecting. So that's my parenting journey. Now, today with us, we have a Jurassic mom. Now, let me explain to you about it. Well, she'll explain to you about why I'm calling her a Jurassic mom. But again, it's another parent who I'm connected with on social media, and who, when I follow, brings me joy as a parent. Watching Kim, watching what you've been going through recently, watching you as a parent overall, but watching what you've been going through recently has given me energy, has given me joy, and is something that I think the world needs to know more about, because being a proud parent is probably the greatest thing you can possibly do as a parent. So Kim, please jump on in here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your family, and tell us about why I'm calling you a Jurassic mom.
Okay, Andy. Well, that was really nice of you to say. I appreciate that very much. And to know that other people or parents are watching and listening and following my personal journey is and enjoying that and feeling the emotions that I feel is really important to me. And that makes me very, very happy. My son is David Iacono. He is a up and coming working actor who's done a lot of work in the past since he's a young boy, and just recently did a little known franchise movie called Jurassic World. And so this one is the seventh, I believe, in the franchise. It's called Jurassic World Rebirth, and he traveled everywhere to do this. He's also in The Summer I Turned Pretty seasons 1 and 2. And now, as a lot of people know, season 3 is out. But he's been doing this for a long time, and we've been doing this for a long time, I should really say. I ran him around as a child through Manhattan, through the crazy streets of Manhattan, and just used the streets as our playground, so to speak, and had so much fun doing that while he was growing up. And learned a lot that way, learned a lot about people and how to respect people and different types of people and different kinds of people. And that's always been a big joy for me. He's a good person. He's a beautiful soul. And that's where it all starts, I think. And alongside of that comes the talent and the passion for what he's doing. And I think that's where the success really comes from. It comes from a good place. And I really believe that you do need to have a good foundation and a good inner soul or spirit in order to succeed in anything, especially in entertainment, I think.
Now,
Um,
where did the acting bug start? Did it start with him? Did it
so
start with
he
you? Like,
started
where did that?
Yeah, I my daughter was actually taking pictures as a child model, print model, and then he came along. They're 3 years difference, and he came along, and I would take him off with me to all her little I guess not little, but her print jobs, and they were interested in him, and they just said, oh well, he's a cute little kid. And I said, oh okay. And they said, would you be interested in putting him in pictures as well on some of these go-sees, as we called them back then? And I said, sure, why not? I mean, he was with me at the time, at the moment anyway. And so it started out as him being a child print model for things like J. Crew and J. Crew Cuts, I believe it was, and Macy's and Saks and all these. And one thing led to another, and then he started to, you know, we enjoyed that journey very much. And he would walk into a room and just get people's attention and just basically just speak to people. It was just a talking thing, and that's really how I think he gained a lot of attention, and just being himself. And then as he got older, he did some plays at school, and commercials started coming in, and he did a few commercials, and he liked that. And then once high school came around, he realized he tried out for different high schools, and LaGuardia in on the Upper West Side of Manhattan really took to him. And that was a long day of rehearsals and auditions of trying to get in. And his grades were up to par. And so he made it into that school, and he realized that that's where a lot of his training and his passion for it began. And that's when he realized he really liked it, and that's what he wanted to do with his life. Yeah, so he didn't end up going to college. When college came around, it was COVID and lockdown. So he knew that he wasn't going to get the experience, the college experience of, you know, boarding and going to class every day. And it was more just digital and Zooming. And so I think he realized, well, I'm not going to get that. He really wanted that. And then I think he realized he wasn't going to achieve that. So let's just keep working. And he was booking and getting jobs. And enjoying doing that. You know, they weren't as consistent. So in between, it was a little difficult for him because he liked to keep moving. And that's the tough part of this career and this journey for him. But as he started to get older, he started booking more projects and things he liked to do. And now here we are at Jurassic World, in the Jurassic World. So
now as for you as a parent, balancing that with your kids' schedules, with doing different things and being busy like that, how is the roller coaster for you? Because as they're going through the ups and the downs and dreams and there is a lot of I don't want to say dreams being crushed in that field, but there are a lot of ups and downs. There are a lot of things that
yeah.
you get excited about that you think are going to happen, and then it doesn't, and then you have to start working towards the next one. How is that for you as a parent to see your child going through that?
That was difficult, but he always knew, and we always knew that's the way it works, and that's how it goes. And so there were rejections that he had to deal with. I think it's been a good tool for him at this point. It's always still hard, a little difficult, especially if he really wants the project. So for me to see that was, I'm not going to say devastating, because I felt like everything is a lesson. So I knew that when that would happen, it was a lesson for him, and that he may grow stronger as that went on, and which he has. There are still moments where he doesn't book projects that he really wanted, and it's disappointing, but it's more just disappointing as far as the job or the work goes, not so much of a personal thing, although of course that happens. That's just a normal human reaction. It's the first thing that you feel. And so yeah, I would feel bad for him, but again, it's everything is a lesson, and everything in life is a lesson. And I think that that's really, really, really important for parents to know when they're parenting their children. Everything is a lesson. As much as it hurts at times, you know, you need to find that lesson in every downfall and every upside, all of it. You know,
Yeah,
it's
very important to learn from what you can from life's lessons, like you said.
yeah,
Another,
even the good stuff, even the great stuff. You have to know not to let it become your ego. And that's also a difficult, that's kind of hard as well, but we're doing it. We're definitely doing it.
and you as a parent, I've seen, again, like I said before, I I live vicariously through other people because most of my time is spent here just being a caregiver for my
Good.
son,
Mm,
doing as much as I can with my daughter.
sure.
But living vicariously through other people and seeing again, like I said, your joy, your energy, everything. You're constantly posting up all the stuff, all the TikTok videos about your son, everything about Jurassic World,
It's
and
exciting.
it's so great to see that. And the fact that now you get to see your son standing on a red carpet, which I'm sure that feeling has to be absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you had a post a while ago that you had talked about all the missed events, all the vacations cut short, all the
Yeah.
things that you had to do for casting
Oh
calls and
yeah.
callbacks, and all of that you had to deal with. Did you at any point ever think this is a crazy dream, that should he just do the normal route like most people do? How do you deal with those emotions of, is this going to work, or isn't this going to work?
Yeah. Um, you know, we just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as much as he did. So I feel like it wasn't ever, I mean, in the back of my mind, it was, oh, this could work someday. But really, we were just always in the moment and just moving forward and just knowing, hey, we're gonna have fun when okay, yeah, we're leaving friends. We're leaving this party short. No, he's not gonna get to do a baseball game that day, but he'll have the next day to do that baseball game. And you know what? This is fun. We're not we're not going out to do something that's not enjoyable. I mean, it was always enjoying. And him and I and our relationship together was always just so fun, and it was just always about having fun. And that part, the success part, was the cherry on top. It was always something, a later thought, like, all right, let's do it, and then afterwards it's like, oh, what could come out of that, and this could become this, or that could become that one day. And that was always the afterthought. It was never really about that. It was never really, oh, let's do this now because later it could, that was always the afterthought. The fun in the moment was was the most enjoying part, and we both had that fun, whether it was picking up a dirty dog, like one of the hot dog dirty dogs in the city, and and sharing a Pepsi, and like running through the streets and having strangers in the streets go, hey little man, hey little guy, and there was just so much joy in that. And like playing silly little games like, I don't know, I Spy or whatever it was. There's so much to spy in Manhattan. So, little things like that. We just enjoyed it. We enjoyed our time together. The subway train rides, those were our best moments. Those were our most, um, what's the word?
Bonding.
Yeah, I mean, sitting with him on those train rides, those hour and a half train rides to Brooklyn, were the times when we spoke the most, when we thought about things, when we sat there and just in our own minds and just would have random conversations about really important things. And just it would just happen. It would, I mean, we were together so much. And insight. There was a lot of insight. That's the word I was looking for. There was a lot of insight that happened on those train rides between us, whether it was my insight on things, on life, or his insight, or school things that were going on, or friends, or conversations about different events that were happening and how we felt about them, or people and how we felt about different people and how he was being treated or not treated, or things we were missing, things we were enjoying. Just really, really insightful conversations happened on those subway rides. And he can attest to that. He would tell you the same. Or even just books we were reading. We'd read on the train and talk about what we were reading and how it pertains to real life. And there was just so many good conversations out of those train rides. They're really,
That's so great. Just keeping it real
yeah.
is basically what you were doing.
And
But I think what you may not even realize there is you were probably you were learning as you're doing this, but I'm sure as a parent you were teaching him also.
yeah.
And I'm sure I've seen, like I said, I've seen so many interviews because you're always posting them up with what he's been going through. And I have to say, as from one parent to another, great job. Because you can just
Oh,
you can look at someone and you can see this kid was raised right. You can just see he's professional, he's courteous,
thank
he's
you.
got a great sense of humor. And a lot of that, I'm sure, came from those train rides.
Yeah, agreed.
And you said something there about just having fun. How important is that? And I'm sure it's so important to him that there was that during those times there wasn't the pressure. You got to do great. You got to give it your all. You got to no, you were having fun. You were eating the dirty dogs. You were, just having fun with it
Just
and
having,
not putting the pressure on. And I'm sure that really helped him to become not only a better person, but a better actor. And
yeah.
again,
Mhm.
kudos to you for that. That's
Thank you so much. Well, like you, I spent a lot of time with my kids, and I think that's really, really important. I think just spending a lot of real quality time with your children is so important, and just having those conversations and doing silly things and being real and answering those hard questions and to the best of your ability with hoping that there's a lesson behind it that they will pick up on. Those things are really important. And I just always feel like you need to spend a lot of time with your children. Of course, they need their own time, and we all know that. And they have their own time at school with their peers and things like that. But when it comes time to being home with your children, those are the most important times. And you really need to be honest with your kids and spend a lot of good time with them and have fun with them and be real and realistic about things. And just, again, those are all lessons. Those are all life lessons. And I
now
just, during that time, I would always just hope and pray that it would go the right way, that those lessons would be heard.
now as he is coming into stardom. There's no denying that. Again, you're posting up. We've all seen the reviews about how they're talking about him, the breakout star. Could definitely be someone very big in this franchise in the future. I'm sure so many other things are going to start rolling in. Um, we hear a lot about the downside of Hollywood and all of that kind of things. But I
Mhm.
have to say, I was going to ask you how you felt about him growing into this chaotic world of the Hollywood world and everything like that. But I think I already have the answer because you've already given it. You've already grounded your child. You've prepared him for this. I don't think you have as much to worry about as maybe some other parents when their kids get into this lifestyle. Because again, like you said, spending the time with him, spending
Yeah,
spending all of that, it's important. You've gotten him prepared for life. And that's the most important thing you can do as a parent is get your child prepared for life. And his life looks like it's going to be a very different one, a very great one.
God.
So how do you feel about knowing that your son is about to take off in a direction that very few get to live in a
Mm.
world that very few get to see?
That's a very good question, Andy. To be very honest, that's the hardest part for me now as a parent of a 23-year-old. That's the hardest part for me right now. That's the scariest part. Nothing else scared me as much as now at this point. Just I know that I've done my best, and I know that for sure. Listen, I've made mistakes. We all make mistakes. I've grown from them. Um, but that's the hardest part right now for me is him being off on his own and meeting different types of people, having access to different things that perhaps others don't have access to. That's for me to just say to myself, okay, well, I did the best I could, and I just and it still goes on. I still have those conversations with him, like, be careful, make good choices. I know it sounds so redundant and so silly, but it's really important. Make good choices. You're gonna, and listen, you want them to make the mistakes too. You do, because they're gonna learn from those mistakes, hopefully. But it is difficult for me now to know that he's out there completely on his own, and I have zero control over anything now. I can only protect him so much at this point. I'm not with him all the time the way that I was.
And he's traveling the world now.
He's traveling the world, and it's scary, but it's exciting as well. So, like I said, I can just tried my best, and I'm still there, and I'm still there for him to speak to, and we talk every day, and I just try and give him as best advice as I can, even today. And I think I always will. I don't care if he's 23 or 53. I will always be there to speak to both my children, and always, let them know that they have someone that they can talk to, whether it's something they want to be happy about or cry about or worry about or whatever it is. That's life. And I can't really worry too much about it. I worry, but I just hope and pray for the best, hope I did the best that I could, hope I planted the right seeds in order to keep him safe, you know.
I think you've done a wonderful job building the foundation. And like I said, from the interviews that I've seen of him, he looks like an absolutely wonderful young man who's going to go very far. And again, it's enjoyable to watch, but I enjoy watching it from your aspect of it.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
nice to see him posting stuff and everything like that. But again, what brings me the joy, what gives me the good energy, what puts the smile on my face is, oh, Kim posted up something else. Let's see what it is. It's
Oh, that's great. That's so nice to hear. It
it
really,
is it is because again, we know social media, especially in this day and age too, it's all chaos, it's all arguing, it's all
yeah.
everybody's angry. So when you see these stories, when you see someone make it, when you see a
Mhm.
family make it, when you see a mom as proud as she is,
Yeah,
that's just that's what I want more of in my feed. That's what I want to see every day. That's the energy that I want to take in. So thank you
that's
for
great.
taking us on your journey, and thank you for sharing all of that with us,
All
because
right. Thank you for
it's absolutely wonderful.
uh,
as as your journey, again, like I said, every parent's journey is different.
mhm.
What advice from your journey would you give other parents
Hmm. In this field or in
in
life?
life in general,
Same.
just in
Yeah.
just parenting?
I would just say, like I said earlier, you need to talk to your kids. You need to continuously talk to your kids and know, first of all, choose your battles. That's also very important. Choose your battles, choose the right time to speak to them, map that out a little bit. If they're not in the mood to talk, because they are going to go through their moments where they don't want to speak, and that's okay too. So you try again. You try again another time when they're more calm, when I don't know, when they've eaten something they like, or and they're in a good mood, or but definitely always, 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 it's so important to keep that communication open. It really, really, really is. You want them to tell you, you want to be in the know at any time in their life, as a child, as a grown, as a grown child. You just want to keep that communication open. It's really, really important. And speak to them where they want to speak to you, not where they have to speak to you or they feel pressured to speak to you, but more so just to be able to conversate with someone, you know, and that's really, really important. Communication really is key. It really is.
It is, it's important to have, and it's important to have sometimes the conversations that are the difficult ones too. As you know,
Mm-hmm.
my daughter's a teenager now, so as she's going out more, as her life is changing too, you have to have the difficult conversations. You have to tell them about the reality of life and possibly people that they may run into, and
Mm-hmm.
and the way people may treat them or may want to do things.
Exactly.
So it's not easy to have all the conversations, but again, like you said, it's important to find the right time, to
Mm-hmm.
not sit down and force that on them, to have
Exactly.
the open conversation, to have the back and forth, to answer the questions, to talk about the things that maybe you are afraid to talk about. But it is very important because again, if if you want to be a good parent, if you want your child to make it in this world, you have to have those conversations. You
Yeah.
can't just,
Yeah.
they're going to go out there and they're going to learn things on their own, which is wonderful. But
Yeah.
you have to have them prepared for this world, which is a tough world.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. And you also have to know when to ease up and just, like I said, have fun. Have
Yes.
fun, be silly, and open them up with a little laughter instead. Don't make everything so tense and so intense. I mean, joke around. Make some jokes where you know that you can lean in on their humor and just lighten them up a little bit to even want to speak, to you. That's also important.
Now, how does that feel too? Like I said, a couple of the interviews that you posted up, they're calling your son like his comedic timing. I've heard a couple of people talk about
Yeah.
his comedic timing and
uh,
how great that is. So it's not just the acting; it's that too, and that's something that that comes from inside, as
Yeah.
someone who's, you know, been in
Yeah.
comedy and worked with humor and all kinds of things.
Hmm.
That's something that's inside of you. That's something that comes from the family. That comes from a family
I
that
believe
jokes
so.
around.
Yeah, it's that lightheartedness, that lighthearted kind of just keep it, let's keep everything. There's a time for seriousness and there's the time that you can keep things lighter. And I think within him, that's just always how it was. It was like, okay, let's take these, like just going back to when he was a child, let's take these pictures, but hey, let's be goofy as well, and I think perhaps you're right. Perhaps that's where the comedic timing comes in. It's like, okay, we're doing something really serious here, and this is a job, but we're gonna have fun with it, and just immediately kind of turn back to laughter and being goofy and silly and enjoying your life. I mean, you gotta love what you do. So,
Find the humor and everything.
yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second. Okay, let's really find out how much you've been studying, what your son has been doing.
Oh no.
Okay, what kind of dinosaur is that?
Oh, let me see. Is that the T-Rex or is that
You know, honestly, it's pretty bad that I don't even know what
I
it
think
kind of looks like a T. So I'm gonna go with that
it's
one. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go with. All right,
the
here's this one's definitely a T-Rex. It's
that's
smaller.
definitely T-Rex. The other one is a Spinosaurus then.
Okay, so this one is
Oh shoot. Um oh man,
is
that's not pterodactyl. What is
that a Stegosaurus?
that? Oh yeah, Stegosaurus. That's
We'll
it.
we'll figure it out. And this one,
Kill me. He's gonna kill me. A Brachiosaurus.
very good. Is that the way their neck bent? Because I always thought that there was something wrong with this toy, but his neck is like
No,
so bent backwards. But I
if you
guess
see
that's
the
the way it
movie,
is.
oh yeah, they're all entwined.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I wanted to
That's
see
okay.
how much studying for your son's movie you have really done.
Well, I don't know. I hope I got some of them right. Don't kill me.
Ah, again,
Oh,
Kim, this has been absolutely wonderful.
okay.
Parenting.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to say before we wrap this up here? Anything else that you would like to say to
I,
parents, to your kids, to anyone?
I think I said the most important things, really just to keep that communication open, be silly and fun and joke around and try and enjoy every day as much as you can, even during the tough times. That's life. We're only here once. So
I think you figured out the recipe for parenting.
I'm sorry.
I think you figured out the recipe for parenting.
Oh, well, thank you, Andy. That means a lot coming from you. I know that you're very close with your children as well. And I watch your stuff consistently as well. And I try and engage as much as I can.
Thank you. Again, it's just parenting. Just again, I just wanted to just put a good story on here. I just wanted to put
Yeah,
something that's uplifting and something
uplift.
that's energetic. And
Correct.
and 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 that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's true. And I enjoy.
So again, I thank you so much for sharing your journey, for sharing your life, for sharing your family, for sharing your ups and downs, because you do, like I said, you keep it real. You talked about the ups and the downs, the hard
Ups
times and the
and the
good
downs.
times.
That's life. Yep.
And now you're going through a great time, and we're going to continue with the great time.
I hope so. I mean, I'm sure there'll be plateaus. I'm sure there'll be lows, and we're ready for it.
And that's what you just said. Be ready for it.
Yep.
Whatever comes your way, be ready for it. Deal with it with as we always say, the peace, the love, and the laughter. I mean, that's the way we always end this, and those are the most important things in your life: is the peace, the love, and the laughter. Again,
Right.
I thank you so much for your time
Yeah,
today.
thank you too. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And kids, oh, your daughter, you should keep me posted on what's going on with her video gaming. Her,
It's it's when I tell you, she came to us, I think she's 19 now. I think she came to us when she was about 16, finishing up in high school.
yeah,
And she started telling us about this video game that she was like creating in her head. She was writing, she was doing the character design, and then she started the coding, and she was taking coding classes, and she was
very
doing the coding.
important. Coding
And then
is
she like showed it to us, and it was like, but then she came to us too with the like every aspect of it. She's a musician. She's writing
mm,
the music for it. She's doing the scoring. Her art is amazing. She does digital art. She does drawing art.
wow.
Absolutely, again, insane. Every aspect of it. And like I was asking you, it's one of those things where do you allow your child to continue on with this crazy dream, or do you
Mm.
force them to go into the real world? And
I
when we
I would
saw how passionate and how much
yeah,
she was putting into it, we said, okay, we're gonna support you
yeah,
for this. So that's what she's doing.
yeah,
She literally works every day, every night. She's constantly. We had to tell her last week to take a week off because
yeah,
she was over. We could see it was getting
yeah.
to her too much. Take a week off, take a
Yeah.
break, and then you can get back into it.
Yeah.
And again, there's nothing, there's no better feeling than being a proud parent when
Yeah.
your child creates or does something amazing
Do
like
something that they love to do. You know, that's another important, I should have said that, but another important point is about parenting. I think I didn't mention this, and I often say this. I feel as though as a child or just growing children, you should always find out what they love. Like find what they have that knack for, and help them with it. Do you know what I mean? Like
that.
just
Absolutely.
help them do it. Help them love it. If they love it, love it with them and be interested and follow along, follow through with that. Because I mean, even if it's a baseball player or a swimmer or whatever they are, like follow that as far as they want to go with it. It's very important to follow that. And I tell that to a lot of young parents as well. Find their knack. Pay attention to what they love. Pay attention to what they love doing, and run with it. Like help them with it, and see how far they really want to go with it, and follow that through, and help them with it. Help them do the adult part of whatever that they can't do, like what you're doing with your daughter. Like just follow along, like follow it, and I. I mean, I don't think anything is impossible. So even if it sounds silly or it's going to be a tough journey, help them do it, and follow through with it with them. If they love it that much, like you said, your daughter's passionate about that, follow through. If they're good at basketball or sports or whatever it is, follow through as long as they want to do it. And whatever you as a parent, as a grown-up, can do to help them do that, it's very, very important, I think. And that's what I did. It's really what I did. I knew that he was passionate about this. When he was in high school is when I really started to see it. He loved theater and he loved all of that. And I just saw how happy it made him. And I just said, well, we're gonna follow through with this then, and they need that. Kids need that. They need the grown-up part of it. They need the input. They need all that part.
We have to remember too that it's their life.
Yeah.
They're going to live
Right.
their life. They shouldn't live our life.
Right. 100%. And if you can help them do that with whatever aspect is the grown-up part of it, then you should absolutely do that, so that's important too.
Yeah, that's great. So I'll definitely get that in there.
Good.
That's not a problem. So
Good, because that's very important. And
it is.
like I said, I try and tell that quietly with young parents now, and I try that. Oh, he's doing that. Wow, he looks like he's good with his fingers. He looks like he's good with coordination. Go with that. Find out what kind of a hobby he can have in that, and move forward on that. It's so important. And that's what I did. I don't know. It seemed to work in this case, but it may not work for everyone. I don't know.
Feed their dreams. That's all you can do.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you.
So
And
again, I thank you, Kim, for
chatting
this
with me.
absolutely wonderful babble.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to do another one again soon. So until
Okay.
the next one,
All right.
peace.
Good luck to you. I'll be watching.
The love and the laughter. Yes, I'll let you know. This will be up in a day or two.
Okay,
Again,
cool.
it all depends on the chaos of what's going on in my home. So
I know.
when I can get to it, I'll get to it.
I'll be watching all of your stuff.
Thanks again, Kim.
Okay.
Truly appreciate it.
Chatting.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.